are the forces that shape identity in a globalizing world?
Ironically, one would have thought because we are in a globalizing world, there would be some sort of upsurge of global identity. On the contrary, what you have now is really a proliferation of subnational identities. Immediately after decolonization, in many of the third world countries, there was the coming into being of a certain national identity. New nations came up. Now what you have is a much greater increase in localism, in specific subnational identities, and I think this is because of the inequalities which have been generated inside the nations because of the process of globalization.
What are the positives and negatives of globalization?
What you find is that there is an enormous increase in inequalities, not just across nations, but also inside nations. For instance, if you looked at all the countries in the world, then you find international inequalities have increased, provided you think of rural India and urban India and rural China and urban China as two separate countries within each. If you do that, then you find there's an enormous increase in inequalities. And in fact, this has gone to a point where significant sections of the population are actually worse off in absolute terms, while at the same time there has been remarkably high growth rates in many of the new third world countries like China, India, East Asia, etc.